Hello lovely people, this is Robin D, and today I want to show a few of the tools that I have made that enable you to get some information from the OpenStreetMap, mostly about public transport relations, but most of these tools will work for any other relation too. So I'm going to show you my OSM public transport route info page, my SVG route drawer, my OSM-Line order and KML creator, and the flip KML line tool. Let's start with the public transport route information. This one takes relations from the OpenStreetMap and then displays some information about these relations on here. It is mostly made for public transport, mapped with the version 2 schema. So any older relations or like other relations like motorways that like have different direction roles and so on might not properly work here, because it's really mostly designed for buses, but it also works with rail lines. So I'm just going to show it off for the bus, but I have some selections here. You can also just take any relation. So it like basically starts with this search functionality up here. If you already have a relation ID from the OpenStreetMap, you can skip this part. But if you don't, if you just want to query what is a certain bus, then you can put this data in here. Each of these fields is mandatory, so you need to put the place name in. If a certain place name can't get found properly, then maybe use a different place name. For example, if I type in mousehole here, it doesn't find mousehole in the UK, so I have to type in Penzance, because, for example, all of the buses that go somewhere around mousehole in the UK also go to Penzance. So ideally put a place name in here that's more likely to be found by just its name. Then the line reference number that you are looking for, and then the route relation type. If you are not certain what it's going to be, then you can also use this star entry here, then it will look for any relation. Yeah, but I, for example, want the bus, so I'm going to get this. Then it is going to load, and here under the OSM select well part will pop up a table. Obviously, if there are more than 2 relations, then this table can get quite long. That's why there is a backup button. In case the table gets really long and you have to scroll down, you can click this button and it will take you back to the top. You can select an entry by just simply clicking on it once. Doesn't matter if on the relation number or onto the name. It will then automatically insert this relation ID into this field, and then you can get the data for that. This will first of all fill this OSM relations text box here with the relation part of the XML response from the API. So you could do something else with this response if you want to, but it then also displays the information out of the tags that is coded in here. So the type line from to via, not via. If those are not set, then nothing. Operator network, and it also calculates the route length based on each part of the route, which is also shown here on the map in red. And then it also lists the stations in the correct order that they are in the relation. And if you click on the map on any of the stations, it shows you the station name. And if you click in the table, then it zooms the map to that particular station. I have tested this with buses in Vienna and London, because in those 2 places the buses tend to be mapped a little bit different. So it should actually work just fine also for any bus mapped in London, or any bus that's properly mapped with the version 2 schema in the UK. So we could take the Superloop 5 here, that then once again gives you the relations to select. And then here we have that one. You can also select any other relation here, but please keep in mind that it wasn't created for other relations. So for example, a motorway relation that is not properly going to work is the M25, because that relation in its ways, we will soon see here, yeah, has roles for its parts like clockwise and anti-clockwise. I have not made sure that these actually get displayed on the map, so that will not show properly. But if you have a route relation of any kind that does not have any particular roles for its pathways, then it will properly display, like here the M1, and it will also most probably properly calculate the route length here. And then you can see that, yeah. But I have created this tool mostly for public transport, so it's best used with buses, trams, or other lines. The next tool that I have created here is an SVG route drawing tool. It basically has the same search and gathering functionality like before. So we once again can get relations, they pop up here. We can select them. They then go into this field, and then you can get the relation data, which once again displays here. That's basically the exact same implementation. But then here you can set a width and height that you want to for this SVG that is about to be generated here. And when you are happy with that, you can click Make SVG. Also, there is the possibility in these tools to upload an OSM-XML file. So if you, for example, have already downloaded an OSM file from, for example, Overpass Turbo, or have saved something that you edited in an OpenStreetMap editor as an OpenStreetMap XML, then you can also just upload that here, and it will take the relation part here. The difference here is that this thing allows you to connect multiple relations together. So for example, here I have now selected the relation from Mühlviertel to Floridsdorf. What I can now do is select the other one from Floridsdorf to Mühlviertel, click on Get Relation Data, and it will append the second relation data to the first one, and will also remove any duplicate nodes and ways. So that when you then click Make SVG, you are not limited to only one direction, like on the public transport information page, that you can always only load one relation into the info page, into the map. Here on the SVG maker, it allows you to put as many relations as you want in. Basically just always put the relation number here, click Get Relation Data, and then put the next number here, and so on. Then it will generate the SVG. This will take some time, as it has to query each of the nodes and each of the ways. Once again, I am expecting here a way that is part of the line to have no role. So if you have a older public transport relation here where there are still roles like forwards, backwards, alternate, or such things, then this tool will also not properly work. This is really made for how a relation should look when it's a public transport relation with the version 2 schema as closely implemented as it's possible when the definitions keep changing every few years. Yeah. So then, as soon as all the data has been read from the API, it will create the SVG file, and it will also display it down here, as well as output the SVG XML type structure here in this field. So you can copy this out and copy it straight into a software that understands SVG. So like Inkscape, or on Mac OS Boxy SVG, for example. And then you basically get this SVG, and any duplicate nodes. So like for example, there would be a node here that is the like starting station for one direction and the ending station for the second direction. This will not be here double, because duplicates already get removed here. However, this duplicate removal only works obviously if the like role is the same. So if on one relation the like role of the starting stop is entry only and then final stop is exit only, then you will have 2 points here and 2 times the same text. But because you then will have both of these at the exact same position, you're probably not going to be able to know this. But keep this in mind if you are loading many relations in here that like share certain stops, but like each of these entries has a slightly different role, then you might end up with multiple elements here that could make the SVG a bit bigger than it really needs to be. But for the most part, if you just make 1 or 2 lines here as one SVG, it should be only 1 point and 1 piece of text per station. Yeah, so much for this tool. Then let's get to the third tool, the OSM-Line Order and KML Create tool. Originally, I just wanted a tool that could take coordinates from a line and then, well, from multiple lines and then order them. I did a bit more here. I have not included the like OSM search functionality. So for this tool, if you really want to like use this, I recommend to just go to the OpenStreetMap and with right click on a line and the like object query, find the relation you want to query, copy the ID into the relation ID. Then you can click get relation ID. That will get all the ways from that relation that once again have no role. So once again, this will not work for relations where the ways have different roles. Then you can load all of these lines with their nodes coordinates. That will also take some time if it's a lot of lines. And then this functionality here, if you click on order lines, will basically order the lines so that they go into the same direction. And after this transformation has happened, you can make a line KML, and if it's a relation that also has public transport stops, then you can also make a stop KML. Those you then can download, and that then will also be able to be opened in Google Earth. So for example, a stops KML will have all of the stops and platforms. So for example, for a bus in London, there are usually only platforms mapped as nodes. Sometimes there are stop positions mapped as nodes. But if there are platforms mapped as ways or as polygons, also that then will be downloaded and displayed here. And then the line KML is like basically all of the pieces ordered in one continuous line that goes in one direction. So you can download this and don't have to like worry about each of those lines being small pieces and going into different directions. If you need something from the OpenStreetMap to be quickly viewable in Google Earth. I guess I'm just also going to do a relation in Vienna here, so that you can also see the platforms being like lines or polygons. So you enter it here, you get the relation data, you load the lines, you order the lines, you make the line KML and the stop KML, you download those, and then we have the line and the stops. And here for the like stops, the stop position node gets downloaded, the platform nodes get downloaded, but if the platform is a polygon like here, or if it is a line, which probably, yeah, which is the case here at Leihlingasse, here it's just a line, those also get put into the file here. And then the last tool, which is really a quite simple one, this one basically takes a coordinate string from a KML and it just flips the direction. So we can actually take the one from the 5a here. So currently this line goes from up here to down here. When I now going to export it again, so it's a little bit nicer to work with, a bit better formatted. When I now take this coordinate string here, so like from the first coordinate to the last coordinate, and paste it into this upper field here, and then click flip order, and then copy this back into the line string coordinates here. Then if I now open this in Google Earth, instead of going from up here to down here, it now goes, yep, from down here to up here. So that is a quick way to flip a line string from a KML. Yeah, those are my public transport and sort of a geographical KML file tools that I have created. The links to all of these will be in the description down below. Thanks for watching and bye for now.